Welcome, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome. My hair is a fucking disaster, and that's okay for a 4th of July weekend. Happy Saturday, you lovely, delicious human beings. Welcome back to Roy's Repair and Resale. My name is Roy. I do repairs and resale. It's going to be a fucking night. I don't know what the hell is going on tonight, but it is an interesting night to say the least. Welcome everybody. Welcome for coming in. Please, everybody, say hello. Let's all hang out. Let's shoot the shit for a little. Look, in 2 minutes is a very general statement. Okay, I am not even remotely punctual in most circumstances. Okay, there we go. Salud. Oh, that's delicious. What is that? Oh, strawberry citrus. Hell yeah. Salud. Let's all hang out. Let's shoot the shit for a little while before we get into these repairs. You know, we like to enjoy ourselves just a little bit before we get down to the nitty gritty. Oh, big stretch. Oh, good lord. Rachel, you gonna come say hi? You wanna come shoot the shit for a little while? Come here. There's the baby. Oh, there she is. Hang on. Oh, let me angle the camera down a little bit. You say hi to the peoples. What's up, baby? You don't want to say nothing? You got nothing to say? The people need more, Rachel. You say hello. Exactly. The true mascot. Hi. You sweet thing. Oh my goodness. Oh, you're so sweet. You give him a kiss. Nope, don't fall. You're also very clumsy. Yeah. No, be careful. You're just a baby. You're falling all over the place and you're going to scratch me. I can feel it. There we go. There we go. There's a baby. What are you doing? Welcome in, everybody. Welcome. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Oh, we are going to get into these repairs in just a little bit, but as always, I like to spend at least 10 to 12 minutes hanging out with you guys, doing all the greetings and such before we get into the big repairs. We do have at least one interesting one today. However, I am sad to report it is going to be an episode of Roy's Roaches and Repair this evening. It is confirmed already. It's going to be a Roy's Roaches and Repair night on at least one of the consoles. The first one we're working on, I don't think we're going to have any problems. But the second one, though, we're going to have some problems. All right. Oh, what a lovely night. Hi. Make sure we get some cat cam footage. Disregard the entire mess of disarray that my room is in right now. Oh, she's giving up the belly. Do we dare, baby? Okay, I take the belly. If you won't give it, I'm gonna take it. Yeah, it's nice, baby. It's very sweet. All right. Where are we at time-wise? It's been 8 minutes. We'll hang out a little while longer. Let some people trickle in here as they usually do. And we'll move on from there. Oh, yeah, no big flops. Yeah. Big flops for a big kitty. She'd be given the flops of doom. Doom. What are you doing down there? No, don't do that. No. Yeah. Hey, Dave. Good to see you, buddy. Nah, that's fine. Trust me. I understand. It's 4th of July weekend. I appreciate you just lurking and hanging out, man. We won. All right. We still got a couple more minutes. Let some people trickle in here. We got 2 PS5s on deck to start. One of them, I don't know what's wrong. That's the one we're going to work on first because it's probably going to take me a little longer. The other one is a roach-infested PS5 that has a severely damaged HDMI port. So that's going to be fun. And then if it doesn't get too late, if we can knock those out with some relative quickness, then I do still have a couple controllers that we can work on. I'm still waiting for my what the hell is it? My reballing, the new reballing jig that I ordered. It's been sitting in an airport waiting for transit for a little while now, so I'm just waiting for it to show up. But I do still have all those boards set aside, and we will be doing a RAM reball and working on the one from 2 or 3 weeks ago. Still, it's going to happen. But we're just waiting on the new reballing station to get in here. So, all in good time. All in good time. All right. What do we got here? 10 minutes. All right. We'll give it like one more minute. Let some people trickle in here. Welcome in if you're just joining. It is lovely to see your faces, even though, as I always say, I cannot see your beautiful faces. I hope everybody had a wonderful, safe 4th. Everybody has all their appendages. Rachel still does not have thumbs, so that's no loss there. But outside of that, I hope everybody was safe. I hope everybody had a good time. And fuck it, let's get into these repairs, shall we? People will come in as they come in. No rush. All right, first we have PS5 Slim. This is the first one I've run into these where, let's bring that over here, with this particular issue. Now, it is still a PS5, so, yeah, the symptoms are familiar, but with this board design, I haven't run into this issue yet, where it's just a beep every 30 seconds or so. So I know I've run into these plenty of times. You guys have seen me work on them a lot. But this one specifically, and okay, well, that one actually at least attempts to eject a disc, so that's positive. But beep every 30 seconds with no light. So while I start to get this torn down, it'll be interesting to... Oh, what the hell happened to my camera? Jesus. It'll be interesting to get this on a PS5 Slim level because, like I said, I don't usually run into this problem. At least I haven't thus far with the Slim consoles. So this will be nice to double check and see what we can get figured out here. All right, it's a little dusty. I've seen worse. There we go. Let's get this disk drive off. There we go. And removable disk drive out. All right, never been worked on before. Love to see an intact warranty sticker. That always makes me happy. Oh, thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Oh, thanks, Pack. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. All right. Let's take off this cover and work our way down. Let's just put that right there for now. My desk is in a state of disarray. I appreciate it, Dave. Thank you so much, man. Let's get the fan out of here. right. And let's get this warranty sticker off. We're not going to need that anymore. There we go. Warranty sticker go bye-bye. All right. There we go. Oh, it already came out. All right, excellent. So, well, thank you for stopping in and saying hello, Ashley. I appreciate that greatly. Thank you, thank you. All right. So I'm not going to bother testing for 12 volts because we know it has 12 volts because it's beeping. If it wasn't beeping at all, I would go ahead and start testing for 12 volts on the fan supply right away. But because it's beeping, it is getting 12 volts, so we don't have to worry about that. And I'm going to stick that back over in that area right there. I'm going to keep this adhesive in place so we can keep the wires where they belong. All right. You want to be difficult? Fine. Be difficult over there. All right. And now for everybody's favorite part. No one really is here for the repairs. Everybody is here to watch these screws come out. I know it's a fact. It is my entire brand, and I respect that. All right. Welcome in, everybody just joining. Welcome, welcome. Happy Saturday. Feel free to hang out, spam some stuff in chat. I do have my chat is currently in subscriber only mode, so if you're just watching and you have not subscribed to the channel, you will not be able to chat. That is an unfortunate circumstance of last week's horrible incident that occurred. So if you weren't here last week, there was a bit of controversy, and we had to put it on subscriber only mode for chat. So if you'd like to hang out, spend some time with us over here at Roy's Repair and Resale, please be sure to subscribe on YouTube. And after your subscription today, next week, you will be able to chat no problem. Unfortunately, a couple bad apples spoiled the bunch. And that's how it goes. But for those of you that are subscribed and are hanging out, I appreciate you. And feel free to chat. Talk some shit. Tell me how your week's been while we figure out these repairs. I do have an HDMI port coming up. That's not what we're doing on this one. But this, no, this one's a 30-second beep with no light. So power issue. Let's try and keep this contained as best we can. There we go. All right. Go. All right. I'm just going to do a quick initial inspection here. Oh, nice, dude. I'm glad. That's excellent. Yeah, I hate having to do last minute jobs like that because I always have to go to Amazon. They're the only ones that'll get it there quick enough, and it's always more expensive. You know what I mean? So, yeah, no, this is a no, this is a full slim. This is a 2000 model, the EDM 040. There we go. Let's find where I hid my screwdriver on myself. There we are. Oh, wait, no, this is a Torx. Gotta remember that. All right, take off our APU clamp over here. Well, yeah, I mean, look, we all make mistakes. I've definitely made my share throughout this this journey of mine. But the important thing is we fix it, we make it right. So, yeah, exactly. That's the best thing you can do in that situation. Listen, sorry, I made a mistake. I'm going to cover the cost. Don't worry about it. And, yeah, it's just going to take me a little while longer to fix it. It happens. Unfortunately, repairs are unpredictable. That's just the way it goes. All right. So, let's come around here. Give a little gentle pry. There we go. Nice and easy. Nice and gentle. All right. Well, the board appears to be in excellent shape, first and foremost. This board looks nice and clean. So let's find out why it's deciding it wants to act up, shall we? All right. Well, you know what? That's fair. Yeah, but again, she just doesn't have the thumbs to make that shit happen. You know. All right. So let's do our due diligence here. So before we do any testing of the amp draw, anything like that, I do make a lot of mistakes, Trick. You're 100% right. The first one was letting you in this fucking channel. Good to see you, brother. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. All right. So first thing we'll do is we'll check the usual suspects on this. So we'll check Wi-Fi module. We'll check the Southbridge management power. We'll check the HDMI chip. And we'll check the caps on the back of the Wi-Fi IC as well. Ooh, that's an interesting revision on this. Normally these... No, here, let me switch over to the microscope. All right. So the first thing I noticed right offhand is the Wi-Fi chip on this is actually the old model. It's kind of hard to see with the glare the way it is. Let me see if I can turn that down a little bit. Yeah, that's a little better. So these are the J20H100s, but normally from the 1200 series, they moved over to the J20H104s. I've never seen a revision 1.5 VN, but I mean, a J20H100 is a J20H100. So, yeah, that is what it is. Okay, so let's grab my meter real quick, and let's take a look around and see if we can find a random short that's hanging out somewhere. Beep every 30 seconds. Yeah, no power, no light, just a beep. All right, meter is in continuity mode. So the first thing I'll check is around the HDMI encoder. I don't think it's going to be there, but I just recently ran into one that had that problem, so let's just get that out of the way. So let's see here. I'll just check for shorts around these caps. Nope, nothing there. We're in the right ohm ranges. Now it's open line, that's fine. Don't feel like, let me just pop this into resistance mode real quick. Yeah, so we got, 16K on that cap. That's pretty close to normal. It can be anywhere from like 16 to 20. And we got 400 here. I believe that's normal. No 12 volt short this time. And yeah, 20K there. Okay, so those are all normal. All right. No, 12 volt short's fine. If it was a 12 volt short, it wouldn't be trying to power on at all. There'd just be no power. But just to be on the safe side, that's our ground point, and that's our positive, and there is no short. Not connected to ground at all. All right, let's move to, let's check a few fuses while we're on this side of the board. So we'll come down to this area over here. So we've got F3502 right there. We'll check that fuse. Yep, that fuse is good. We will continue searching for other fuses. Are they all on the back of the board on this one? Looks like they're all on the back of the board on this one. So we're going to move to the back of the board. All right, so back of the board. All right, so down here we have F7003. That's good. And then just slightly over, we have F7004. That's good. And then down in the corner over here, we got F7001 and F7002. Oh. Hello, missing F7001. All right, so this fuse is blown. Just double check, make sure I'm making good contact and it's not trying to trick me here. Nope, that is a blown fuse. Okay, so we have isolated a problem thus far. F7001 is blown. Let's just double check F7002. That is good. Okay, F7002 is good. I'm going to triple check this because my meter does act up sometimes. No. Okay. F7001 is definitely blown. 100%. Okay. So good. We've already isolated one problem. Now we got to figure out what caused that fuse to blow. Because if you're just joining or not familiar with a lot of repair stuff, these fuses do not just blow. It's similar to the way that your car fuses work. If you keep blowing fuses in your car, it's not the fuse's fault. You have some kind of electrical problem. Very similar on a motherboard here. These fuses won't, it's basically just something that allows current to pass from one side of the board to the other. They won't just blow on their own. There's something caused them to blow. So replacing that is not going to fix the problem in most cases, in like 98% of cases. So if I remember correctly, on the normal PS5 boards, the older model ones, we grab a 1200 series real quick. Okay, so on the 1200 series, F7001, where is it? Oh no, it wasn't the 1200 series. It was a different one. Okay. Well, anyway, I believe F7001 controls the 3.3 volt rail, and that can run to a few different things. First thing I'll check, just because of experience, is the caps behind the Wi-Fi module, which are these right here. And we'll check to see if any of these are shorting to ground. Okay, those are good. 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 Oh, slipped. Good. Good. And good. Okay. So it's not the caps on the Wi-Fi module. That's good. That's positive news. Okay. So let's go back over to where F7501 or F7001 is. And you can see that that fuse is sitting on this big pad right here, which is for a pad this size, I would have guessed there's a 5-volt line that comes in here. And it traces down to this area of the board and then travels outward. So if we come over here, are we short? Okay, no short there. No short there. No short there. Or is it on the other side? Ah. Okay, so the short's actually coming from this pad. So this side is not shorted to ground. This side is. So it's coming from this pad, which is probably going to be on the opposite side of the board. So we will do a little flippy-goo here. And on the opposite side of that board, or opposite side of the board, we have this area right here, which is a 5-volt line. And are we short on this inductor? We are not short on that inductor. Are any of these caps short? We are not. Interesting. Okay, so where does this thing go? So F7501, or F7001, I gotta remember, F7001. All right, so I think we're just going to go on a short hunt because it's not in the immediate area of F7001. Because F7001 is on the backside of this area right here. And unfortunately, it also travels elsewhere throughout the board. Oh, thought we had something there for a minute. All right, so I'm just checking out a few of the usual suspects here. Experience can help you in these, but it can also hinder you. Okay. All right, so let's do a little bit of random short hunting. Let's just see what we can find. Sometimes random short hunting, the last 2 times I've had to work on it, random short hunting has saved my tuchus. So that's what we're going to do. We'll start with these caps over here. Okay, that's good. Okay, that's fine. Ah, hello, friend. What are you doing? Okay. Yep. So there's our short right there. And it ties to this SBV chip right here, which is unusual. I've changed one SBV chip in the years that I've been working on this because they don't fail very often. So, do we have a bad cap? Do we have a bad chip? What about, are we short on this inductor over here? We're not short on that inductor. So this inductor is fine. That's good. No, Dave, again, you follow your what the hell, your process. Whatever process you have that works for you, that's not an experience, that's learning. You do whatever works best for you. I've just worked on literally thousands. I mean, it's got to be over 1,000 PS5s at this point. And now the slim ones I'm a little less familiar with because they're still somewhat recent, and I still have yet to have a PS5 Pro come across my desk, which I mean says something for Sony. Maybe they actually fixed some shit. But I've worked on enough of these to get a general idea of what the symptoms are, what they can be, and just go to the usual suspects before I have to start going through testing and things like that, just to save time. You know what I mean? And that's also why I do these videos, especially live streamed, because it allows people to see my process. It allows people to see my mistakes and where I go wrong and how they can not make those mistakes. So it looks like the short stops here because these caps on that same, this coming out of the same chip right here are fine. They're not short. That's ground, not short, not short. So, question is, did one of these, oh, you know what? I think I see a crack in that cap right there. Hang on. Hang a moment. Have we found our problem? Yeah, buddy, we sure did. Look at that. Yeah, that cap has cracked. So that capacitor has failed. In case it's hard to see, right there. Maybe it didn't crack. Maybe that's just leftover residuals from me testing it. It looked like a crack though, damn it. It sure looked like one. It's hard to tell. All right, let's do the fun way, huh? Everybody loves the fun way. So we'll do the fun way. Let's get some voltage injected, and let's see where our hotspot comes up, just to confirm. But I have a feeling it's probably going to be that cap. But I could be wrong. Why could I be wrong? Because I'm kind of stupid sometimes. All right, so what we will do... Yak! Good to see you, buddy. Welcome, welcome. Trick, fuck off. All right. All right, so we're going to add a little bit of the most sus flux known to man. And we're going to come in with our iron and just add a little extra solder on that so we can hook up our wire. Watching Roy TV, you goddamn right, baby. Best entertainment you can find at whatever time it is currently in your specific area of the globe on a Saturday and or Sunday evening, again, depending on what area and time zone you are located. All right, there we go. So we've got our wire soldered. That is going to directly inject some voltage. We'll hook our ground connect up over here. Gotta move this microscope out of the way. Right. Where do we go? There we are. Yes, yeah, the king bow I use is very suspect. All right. And let's swap over to our down camera here. Oh, I know. I love Kimbo. I say suspect is in. It has a certain adult quality to it, if you will. So I've been told. Okay, so we are under the thermal camera now. And we are gonna inject some voltage. So just so we're clear, my wire is right here, where my finger is on the camera. And let's inject voltage and see what pops up. Nope. Well, I'm getting an amp of current draw, but it's not showing me where exactly. It's also not showing it's taking any voltage. It was showing 0 volts and 1 amp, which is not normal. Here, I'll tell you what. Let me make sure I have voltage. Just double check some shit here. Okay. Let's remove our wire for a second. Okay. All right, so we are now currently at 1 volt, 1 amp. I'm going to come back in with my wire. And it immediately drops to 0 volts and 1 amp of current draw. Am I not grounded properly? Yeah, no, okay, I'm grounded. All right, and we're back under the thermal cam. And there's just no hotspot. Got a lot of reflections, but no hotspot. Yeah, no, I just fixed the ground. Ground is good, I think. Yeah, it's grounded. Do we have a problem on the other side of the board? Ah, hello, friend. We do. Where are you? Oh, no, we don't. Damn it. I was lied to. I was deceived. It's just a reflection. So we got a little bit of a hot spot over here. Here, let me try and adjust this real quick. Yeah, the only place that's getting hot, at least hotter than the rest of the surrounding area, is in this area right here. Inject at the fuse. Yeah, 0 is weird. I agree. All right, yeah, let's try it at the fuse. Good call. Let's try it at the fuse. All right. Let's pop that off. You've done your job. Congratulations. Yeah, no, I know. I just like to stick with 1 volt because normally 1 volt will do the job. You don't usually need more than a volt. If I have to bump it up, I will, but you shouldn't have to because it's not. It's taking 0 volts right now, which is not normal. But now the question becomes: I have seen before, and it's rare, like I said, but I have seen where the fuse is just the failure, like it just failed. It is very uncommon, and I would be very surprised if I ran into it in this particular instance. But I've seen it like once, maybe twice. All right. So there is our fuse. Put a little flux down. And we're going to come in here. I'm trying not to ground this wire as well. That's a problem in and of itself. Oh no. That fuse broke. Okay. Well, let's take that fuse off. That fuse is no longer of use to me. That. Oh yeah, no, I absolutely have a short, for sure. Well, the fuse had to come off anyway. But that fuse just snapped. Well, this thing does not want to come off. Hang on. Yeah, no, I know. Again, like I said, it is very rare that I have seen a fuse fail and just replacing the fuse has fixed the problem. I've seen it, I think, one time. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I saw it on one of Joey's videos, if I remember correctly. Hey, Croupier, welcome, welcome. Welcome, my friend. I don't want to put hot air over here because of this fucking large cap right here. All right, there we go. Finally got the damn thing off. Okay, so the fuse absolutely broke. All right, let's come in here, tin up the pads. This one I don't believe is on the disk drive rail. I could be wrong. I could be very wrong, but I don't think it is. All right. Just for shits and giggles. Just for the fuck of it. There's my multimeter. Now that we've removed that fuse, Russ, welcome, welcome. Lovely to see your face. All right. So fuse is gone, but short remains. Okay, good. That is what I wanted to see. Okay, so let's come back in here. Definitely don't want to bridge the two. Just need it on the shorted side, please and thank you. Clean off my iron a little bit, get some of this residual solder off. Okay. Hopefully that's good enough. Okay. So now, if I inject right where that short is, I am still getting 0 volts into the board. What the hell is this? And again, the only thing I have that's getting relatively warm is in this area right here. But there's, yeah, 1 volt, 1 amp, yeah. But there is 0 voltage. And the only thing that's mildly warm is right here. Is it maybe other side of the board on that area? No. But I have, I have 0 volts going into this board, even though it's set to 1 volt, 1 amp. And just so you guys can see a little better, the only thing that's getting relatively warm, never mind all of the reflections and such, see like this. Nope, I just lost the connection, damn it. Let me try just using one of my meters to do the injection. One of my leads from my meter instead of the soldering. Maybe it'll help me get a better connection. This is super unusual. It's taking a full amp of current, but it's showing 0 volts. I think, maybe I'll try and bump up the voltage a little bit. Maybe I'll put it up to 1.5 and see if that changes anything. Okay, so now I've got it set up to 1.5 volts. Let me make sure I'm actually hitting the right spot. Let me clean that area up real quick. Because there should be voltage. Well, no, because it's drawing the full amp of current is the problem. It's just showing 0 volts. So here, let me show you guys what I have it set at right now. So again, forgive my mess, but so right now I am at 1.5 volts and it's at 1 amp. It's just not taking any amp draw right now. Let me okay. And then if I come in here, let me clean this up a little bit real quick so you can see what I'm doing. can't see. Hang on. Let me get this on here and I'll come back to it. Microscope. Alcohol. Okay. So now, if I come here, so you'll see it's at 0 volts, even though you guys saw it at 1.5, and it's taking a full amp of current. It is very unusual. And again, the only thing that's coming up short, or coming up with the heat spot at 1 amp, is this little chip. The chip in this, there's something in this area that's coming up warm. Let me amp it up to 2 amps current. 2 amps should be fine. And let's see if maybe we can get a better idea. Let's see if that spot gets any warmer. Yeah, see, now it's cold. It's only when I put the voltage on there that it gets warm. All right, there we go. Oh, yeah, hello, friend. Hello, friend. There you are. There you are. Just need a little extra love. Yeah, it's something in this area over here. Okay. Well, now this is going to be a little awkward because I got to try and pinpoint exactly which one it is. I have a feeling it's probably going to be that SBV chip right there, but I'm going to double check. Okay, just so you guys can see, we got that big old glowing spot right there. Yep. All right, let's get back under the microscope and we'll do the alcohol test. Yep, not a cap. Nope, going to be a failed chip on this one, which again is unusual for those. I don't usually have problems. All right, so, oh god damn it! Every fucking time, you piece of shit. Okay. So, we are right here in this area. That SBV chip right there is the one I'm guessing is my culprit. So let's grab a little alcohol and a Q-tip, and we'll do the alcohol test and see if we can figure it out that way, just to confirm my suspicion. All right, come in here. All right, I need a little more alcohol than that. Yeah, it's just weird that it wasn't taking any voltage. Like the 0 volts is what threw me off. The amperage I can understand, but the 0 volts definitely threw me off. All right, we're just gonna put some alcohol directly on the fucking area here. Okay, there we go. Now we've got some alcohol there. All right, and let's come back in with our voltage. Yep, that SBV chip right there. That's the one that's getting warm. All right, there we go. We have identified the problem. That is beautiful. So I'm going to have to replace that SBV chip and a fuse. I need to contact the customer and let them know cost and make sure they are okay with it. So allow me a moment while I contact the customer and confirm cost and make sure they are okay with it. Just a moment here, guys. Okay. All right, so I just texted the customer. So for the time being, I did tell them that I was going to be working on it tonight. So I hope. I also gave them my YouTube channel, so they may even be watching right now. They're watching everything that's happening. So we're going to hang out for just a minute and give them a chance to get back to me, make sure they're okay with the repair cost. And if so, we'll get this done and we'll get it tested, and then we'll move on to my roach-infested nightmare. It's the same chip. I think the dialogue or the SBV replaced dialogue. Hang on, I have a couple extra boards lying around here. Let's see. Let's take a look while we're hanging out. Oh, yeah, the RJ AKs. Yeah, the RJ chips. Yeah. The RJ chips are the older model ones. The dialogue ICs are not meant for power distribution, I don't think, but. Trying to find a couple of others. Oh yeah, see, this one has SBV too, so it's a mix. All right. Oh. But they're interchangeable. You can replace one with the other. It doesn't matter. You can use one, and you can use an SBV in place of an RJ. You can use an RJ in place of an SBV. It's all they're all interchangeable. They do the same thing. Yeah, basically BQ, essentially. Yeah. Speaking of BQ, while I'm waiting to hear back from the customer, I did work on some of you guys. I posted it on Facebook and a couple of, and especially in the forum. I worked on a Switch OLED earlier this week, and I thought I had it all figured out. Man, again, I like to share my mistakes. I thought I had it all figured out. I found a short right next to M92 that leads to the P13 chip, the Pi chip. Found the short on the cap above the Pi chip. Thought I was golden. Texted the customer, said, yep, I got the problem figured out. It'll be this much. You can come pick up. They okayed the repair, took off Pi chip, went to go test to make sure it fixed the problem, and it did not fix the problem. Turned out that there were multiple shorts across that entire board, and not one of them had a heat spot with voltage injection. And after doing more research, found out that the CPU was completely shorted. So, moral of that story, double check everything. before you tell the customer it's fixed. It was disappointing because I really wanted to get it done for them. They were really nice people. They wanted to pay for expedited service and make sure everything was taken care of properly. And unfortunately, it was just a no fix. Yeah, those things happen from time to time in this repair business. It's just the way it is. But yeah, CPU, exactly, Trick. Yep, exactly. It turned out to be the CPU. And that's unfortunate. Yeah, I really wanted to get it done for them so they could have it ready for the 4th of July. And instead, it turned into the worst possible news that it's completely unusable now. Yeah, see, and I've heard that's the CPU cap before, but I also know that cap connects directly over to the P13 chip. And so it's possible it can be a P13 fault. Because it was charging fine. It had the normal charge, everything like that. It just would not power on. And I've seen that issue previously where it takes a normal charge of like 42 milliamps at 15 volts, and the Pi chip was just bad. And replacing the Pi chip fixed the problem. Unfortunately, that was not the case this time. It was not the case. I don't want to just go ahead with the repair because it's a somewhat pricey repair. It's not BGA pricing, but it's not an HDMI port either. It's right there in the middle. So I don't want to just go ahead and do it assuming they're going to pay for it, because then if they don't want to pay for it, then I got to take everything off and it's a nightmare. Which they have every right to not. Let's be very clear here. If they don't want to do the repair, they want to go sell it or something. It's completely on them. It's none of my business. I'm going to give them like 2 minutes to answer, and then worst case scenario, we'll move on to the next console for a little while. Yeah. You can only trial and error these. You know what I mean? I tried voltage injection, nothing came up hot, and no, I won't buy it. I have no need for it. I very rarely get switches in, and even less so switch OLEDs. Even buying it just for parts, I can't. They're also, like I said, they're very nice people. She's very attached to that Switch, and that's part of the reason I really wanted to get it working for them, because I could tell it had sentimental value too. You know what I mean? Like, she took really good care of it. It had Joy-Con protectors and screen protectors. It had its own case, everything like it. She took really good care of it. So it hurt that I couldn't fix it, but I'm also not going to make them a low ball offer just to keep it for parts. You know what I mean? So. Oh, this in a heartbeat. Absolutely, I would buy this in a heartbeat. Yeah, 100% I would buy it. Hey, Wasim, welcome, my friend. Look, gravity is gravity. If you're going to have it vertically mounted, there's going to eventually come a time where the liquid metal is going to pull down to one side. But the same thing is going to happen horizontally, because you have a sandwich pressing down on the die that's forcing it out to either side. And then you think about running some of the high-intensity games like Fortnite, Call of Duty, anything that takes a lot of heat, it's going to cause dry spots, especially after years of use and not having it serviced. So, 6 one way, half a dozen another. It's going to happen no matter what. Keep it however you want. Oh, okay. You want to say hi? Now you're saying hi to people? Why are you being quiet? Why you got stuff to say? Why are you not saying anything now? Huh? Why are you not doing it? Now you're on camera. Now you got nothing to say. No, now you want to say stuff. Yeah. You give me a kiss. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. They have at least looked at the message, so I'm going to extend the time a little bit further here, just because I don't want to have to go through the hassle of taking it. Hang on. One second, guys. Sorry. Hey, Anthony. Welcome, welcome, welcome. PS5, not PS4. All right. Let me find. Customer has okayed the repair, so let me find a donor board real quick. Donor board. Okay. This one looks about right. Just gonna double check it real quick. This is from a EDM 033. Oh no, not the same. There we go. SBV. Okay, that's the one I was looking for. Okay. Yep, we'll steal that one. Okay, let's get to work. Oh yeah, I have a delay in my chat as well. So if you guys corrected it, I can't see that you guys are on a delay for me. So okay, excellent. Let's get it done. Just gonna keep my donor board on the side while we remove these components. I do want to be a little more careful with the heat around here just because it's close to the APU. So we are gonna put down some flux, even though I normally wouldn't. Hey, Chris, welcome, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Just gonna move the heat around. Go. All right. Chip is off. And And while that cools down a minute, let's have a look and see if our short is gone. Because it could be that there's more than one problem. And I would not put it past this board to try and give me shit. Alright, so we're back in continuity mode. And is our short gone? Ooh, short is not gone. So that is not the only problem. Interesting. Okay. So, we have more than one issue. So the short is not gone yet. Interesting. See, that's what I said. I would not be surprised if this thing decided to be a jerk. Oh, god damn it. Oh, that's why. Okay, I see. Hang on. Sorry. Yeah, I thought I did too. But them's the breaks sometimes. Now my microscope just doesn't want to work. Alright, hold a moment. Yeah, no, I know. I should have. That's on me. Okay, there we go. Now we're back. Okay, so now where do we look? I tell you where we look. So we have now, these caps are still shorted right here. Now I don't know which side is ground, unfortunately. Oh, I do have a. Yeah, hopefully not, but I mean, we'll find something one way or the other. Ugh. All right, I do have a donor 040 board here. So I'm going to check to see which side it's supposed to be ground. Okay, so this side is not supposed to be ground. That is ground. This is not ground. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, if I have to replace another cap or something like that, then yeah, we'll make something happen. We'll make it work. All right, so we are going back to voltage injection to try and find the source of our problem. Okay, well, the SPV chip was absolutely a problem. So let's come back to our voltage injection here. And where are we? Here we are. Okay. So I'm going to just be in the right general area. Well, it was heated. I just removed the chip. Hey, Machina, welcome. Demi, congratulations, my guy. You fucking deserve it, dude. I'm so happy for you. We are hunting a 5-volt short, my friend. We just removed that SBV chip because that came up as short and it did not resolve the full problem. So, we are going back hunting. All right. So, we are coming back to voltage injection. Oh, yeah, it's possible. We'll find out. All right. So we're going to ground out again. Turn on our voltage injector. And let's see what shakes loose. So now with that SBV chip gone, it's still something else. It's still in that area. Oh yeah, it does look like a cat. I gotta get a what's it called? I gotta get my my macro lens back. I lost the one I had, and I miss it more than I ever knew I would. All right, let's go back to alcohol because this thing is gonna drive me to fucking drink. All right, let's put a little alcohol down. Get a little closer, just so I can not have to do this twice. E.T., welcome. Always lovely. Yeah, I think it was the one on the right too. I just from what I saw, but rather double check, just be 100% sure. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, they're both kind of losing the alcohol pretty quickly here. Maybe they're both bad. Maybe the chip blew them both out. All right, so here's what we do. We remove one at a time, and then we double check the short. Because it's hard for me to determine which of those it is. It is going to be one of the bigger caps, 100%. But that SBV chip was also bad. So what we'll do, we'll take off the one on the right first, double check and see if the short is gone. And if not, then we move the other one and see if the short is gone. That's just the way it be sometimes. All right. So I am going to make this a little more friendly for me to maneuver. Yeah, I probably will replace them both, but I do want to test and see which. I'll probably end up replacing both anyway, but I do want to test and see which one is giving me the hassle here, just for my own knowledge. So, coming again. No, these are caps. These aren't inductors. The inductor's up ahead. Sus ass flux, you goddamn right. All right. So we're back in continuity mode. Has our short disappeared? It has. The short is gone. So that cap was the bad one. Yep. The short is gone now. There's our ground. No more short. Are we short on that fuse still? Nope. Short's gone, baby. So that cap and that chip is what took it down. All right. So let's let's move that cap completely. First and foremost. No, on this one, well, it's also my shitty camera. So if I turn this down some, they're not as gray as they look. But those are indeed capacitors. Yeah, that up there, that's the inductor. Yeah, I'll replace both caps just to be 100% on it. So this is the donor board we're going to take them from. Yeah, there's the chip and those two caps right there. So yeah, I mean, that's just the way that they look. So maybe I won't replace them. Maybe I'll just do that one because they look actually right. I guess they just use different caps there. But they do look correct. All right. Just going to get myself set up here as best I can. All right, so there's the chip we're taking. putting a little flux down on the original board. Yeah. Add a little bit of solder for that cap. Yeah, no, I'll probably just keep the one that's good. All right, so first things first, let's grab our, well, this is a donor board anyway, so I don't really care. Yep, I do have another lovely roach-infested console for us to enjoy. Okay. All right. Oh, damn, that was actually not bad for not having a microscope. Still got to be fixed. Oh, no, I lost a cap. I think I lost a cap. Hang on. I do believe I lost one. Yep, I did. All right, not a big deal. We'll fix it. All right, so let's get this resituated here. I'm going to put a little flux and let this flow into place. This will help this one move again. There we go. Okay. Just press down a little bit. All right. And I got to steal the little cap from over here. I think I lost the little cap. All right, that's fine. Let's keep a closer eye on this next one. Okay, there we go. All right, come down on the airflow so I don't lose this damn thing. Just a little dab of the flux. And then, of course, it moved. Nope, we're not doing this. All right, come down even lower. Okay, there we go. Now it's back in place. Put a little extra flux down. Come back up with the pressure. All right, there we go. Let's let this cool down a little bit. I don't like having that much heat around the APU area. We still have to do that fuse, I know. All right, and let's just double check that our SPV is sat in the correct orientation, which it looks like it is, but why not be doubly sure, you know? That looks fine. Corners are in the right spot. Oh, nice. Welcome back, Ashley. Okay. That all looks good. I know, it does look weird. Come in with a little alcohol. There we go. That looks much better. All right, and then now that we have everything replaced, one final test. Is our short still gone? Yep. Short's still gone. Excellent. All right, let's replace that fuse and let's get it back in the board and give it a test. Or back in the chassis, I should say, and give it a test. All right, so this is going to be a little more of a hassle because it is right next to the plastic connector for the power button and that big ass capacitor is right there. I may have to heat this from underneath. Alright, got some extra solder on there. Let's come back over here. Alright, so I'm going to lower this airspeed back down again, just while I'm in this area. Hell no. Actually, you know what? Maybe we can. You know what? We're going to take a fuse from somewhere else. That's what we're going to do. There we go. There's a nice fuse. Yeah, it seems like everybody's got a few Roche motels nowadays. I would rather hold it with my right hand and solder with my left, even though I'm terrible at left-handed soldering. I'm also going to have to move the board. Just a moment. There you go. How about that? Well, what it may have done is protected the APU. I don't like the look of that right side. Let me get that a little further down. All right, there we go. All right. I believe we are ready to get her tested. Yeah, no, you're right about that, Dave. That's a good point, actually. Alrighty. Oh, where did I put my drill? There we go. All right. As I put this together, what are we thinking? What's the vote here? You think it's going to turn on? All right. No magic smoke. What do we think? Yay? Nay? Did I fuck it up somehow? I do don't. So if I had a better power supply that had multiple channels and shit, I would do that. I love. First of all, I love Toltec. All right, Toltec. is way smarter than me. But yes, that is a safer way to do it. However, I like to live a little fucking dangerously over here, huh? All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Woo! You can't see shit, but look at that. That's what we like to see, baby. Let's make sure it goes to a white light. White light, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Another one saved. You'll love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. I'm just waiting to see if it resets. I did just kind of take its brain apart. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Yeah, no, and you're right about that too. It would save me a lot of trouble. But I'm lazy and I live dangerously. What can I say? That's not true. I say I'm lazy. I'm not lazy at all. I'm actually very meticulous when it comes to this kind of shit. You guys get to see the fun, let's have a stream and if I make a mistake, oh well. You guys don't get to see the perfectionistic fucking self-hatred that happens when I think I fixed something and it turns out I haven't. All right, there we go. I did not press the power button there. Don't do this to me. Maybe my finger accidentally touched one of the resistors on the board while it had power. Maybe that's what happened. That was weird. I don't like that. But it's fine. I'm just going to keep my hand on the power plug this time and make sure it doesn't happen again. There we go. Okay. Awesome. Okay, perfect. Okay. This is where my perfectionistic side comes in. Something about the way that white light went off made me unhappy. It just kind of like died. And I just want to make sure that it's still working. So my apologies. Give me just a second. Okay. Sorry. Just force of habit. Yeah, normally it fades out. This one just kind of like died on me. All right. Beautiful. We got the fun one out of the way. Now for the not fun one. Not fun at all. Yeah, see, normally it fades, but it just kind of like died on me the last time, and I was concerned. Okay, that one faded. We're good. All right, excellent. I will move that to the side, and I will put it back together off camera. That's beautiful. I love to see it. All right, here's what I do not want to see. It's trash bag time. So, some of you have been here a number of years since I've started this, and you know what this trash bag means. Some of you guys have just recently joined. If I have a PlayStation in a trash bag, if I have any console in a trash bag, that means we're going to have a bad time. So before I even get into this, yes, trash bag means friends. Exactly. So before we even get into this, Gloves. Yeah, not fun one. Not fun one at all. You know what? I'm even going to put my hair back for this one. That's how serious this is about to get. That's right. Roy's Roaches and Repair is back in business, baby. All right. So, I don't have a garage. But what I do have is 99.99% alcohol and a trash bag. No, we don't play that game around here. None of that. We are equal opportunity employers here. Roy's Roaches and Repair. That's right. Yes, they are small gloves. Unfortunately, they were the only size that they have, and I am 6'4" and 240 pounds. All right, I have large hands. I work with what I have. Yeah, exactly, Dave. Fucking exactly. Fucking fat guy in a little coat situation going on over here. Ugh. All right, we're going to pinch the reservoir tip, and then we're ready to go. All right. That's not the first time I've heard that, Dave. All right. There we go. It's like the worst Christmas present ever. In fact, I'm going to not do this in my lap. Oh. Okay. All right. So, this has been soaking for a little over 24 hours. That's fucking right. The glove does not fit, therefore you must have quit. Okay, so it's been soaking for 24 hours, but you guys can see, if you're familiar with repair, you see those little brown spots on the back of the console there. This thing has bugs in it. I soaked these in alcohol, in 99% alcohol, trapped in a trash bag for 24 hours. The alcohol dissolves the film that they have on the exoskeleton and kills them. And then the fumes from the alcohol will typically draw them out if it's stuck in a bag. Oh yeah, never a bad time for a Tommy Boy reference. So, everything in here should be dead by this point. If we run into a live one, I've said this before and I'll say it again. If I don't see it, if you don't see me react to a live cockroach coming out of this fucking console, you guys need to spam message me. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, unfortunately, I live in Florida, and outside is not happening right now. Between the mosquitoes and the rain and everything else going on, that shit ain't fucking happening. Okay. It's not the worst I've seen. I have seen, as of right now, far, far worse. Now, I haven't opened it very far yet either. Yes, it hasn't been opened for. Also, very good news. We love to see that. Where's my damn drill? Okay. Yeah, not the worst I've seen. Not by a long shot. I fucking swear, Trick. Yeah, exactly. The SSD tray will usually tell me everything I need to know about how bad my night's going to be. Now, that is not 100% by any stretch of the imagination. But normally, if the SSD tray isn't bad, it's not going to be too awful. Just checking for signs of life. Fan's in pretty good shape, though. Fan's clean. Oh, I never showed you guys what was wrong with this one. That's my bad. That's on me. My fault. Actually, I didn't even test to make sure this thing turned on. We should do that. Let's test it first before we go into the details of what's wrong with it. Okay. Make sure it turns on. Yep, it does turn on. Excellent. Okay, good to know. This one is a horribly mangled HDMI port. Yeah, no, and again, just try. Yeah, I'm very happy that they use whatever they do, because the worst you'll get in most cases is the Wi-Fi module gets fucked up. You know what I mean? And that's manageable. We can deal with that. All right, just doing a software reset, yada yada yada. I'm glad it turns on. Anytime I get a roach infested console, I have to. Yeah, yeah, that's what you usually expect with roach damage. Is corroded caps on the back of the Wi-Fi module. The CMOS battery is going to be fucked. It still works, but it's shit all over. It'll be a 03 something, either 030, 031, 033, whatever the case may be. But in that family, yeah. Yeah, Croupier, there's a reason that the moniker has become Roy's Roaches and Repair, all right? I get a lot of these fucking things. All right, so it turns off. We're good there. We are fixing it because that HDMI port's a little fucked up. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Yeah, so that HDMI port right there is a little fucked up. All right, let's get this warranty sticker off. Comes off nice and easy because of the alcohol that it's been soaking in. There we go. I saw that, yeah. I saw the. I actually left a comment on there saying that I hadn't seen roaches corrode an actual Via before. And that's facts. I mean, I've dealt with a lot of roach consoles, and I have never once seen it corroded to the point where it actually destroyed the Via on the Wi-Fi module. That was interesting to watch. All right, there we go. All right, let's see how bad this is. Okay, yeah, not even close to the worst I've seen on these. I mean, it's got the usual stuff, but I have definitely come across worse. Yep. So got a little hidey one back there. That's always fun. Into the trash pile you go, my friend. Oh yeah, definitely got the poops. And you can see this little guy hanging out down here. We'll go ahead and take him out as well. All right, let's get these cables off. Okay, there we go. And we give it screws. All right, there we go. So I actually have a magnet wristband. I just don't wear it because it gets bulky, but maybe while I'm using the gloves, that's a halfway decent idea. So. All right. Alright, there we go. And there we go. All screws safely secured. Oh, alright, that's a little worse. Still not bad, but... Rachel, my love, I gotta deal with the roaches right now. You don't want to deal with that. It's gross. It's gross. There we go. Yep, let's see it. Let's see it indeed. Yeah, fucking Magneto over here. Alright, there we go. Check that out. Let's take these screws out. All right. Let's see how we're looking. Oh. Oh, that port is fucked up. Well, it's definitely not in the best of shape. Oh, this is gonna stink so bad. Okay. That. Let's move that off to the side for right now. Put those in there because my cat likes to chew on them. Okay. So yeah, I mean, as it looks right now, pretty typical. All right. Let's see, where are we at? There we go. All right. So, yeah, I mean, as of right now, the usual shit. So you got corrosion around the CMOS, the speaker, Wi-Fi, Ethernet, and of course, HDMI. So, let's have a closer look at that HDMI real quick. And that's what we're dealing with. So it is mangled to all hell. Yep, it's definitely seen better days. Better days indeed. All right, well, let's get it off. Oh man, I've gone 2 hours and 15 minutes without shilling myself once. How clumsy of me. If you haven't already, please be sure to click on the like button on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, follow me on Twitch. I do weekly repairs. A lot of it is road shit. But But it's still fun to hang out with. We got an awesome community of people here. So if you have not already, subscribe up, like the video, follow me on Twitch, do all of the cool things because you're a cool guy. All right. Let me clean up this area a little bit first because I still want to try and hot swap this if I can. All right, there we go. Oh, wait, what am I doing? I need to prep a port. Right. Oh, close. Almost got it first shot. Okay, perfect. Hey, DJ, thank you so much, brother. I really, really appreciate it. All right. And let's see. There we go. All right, grab my counterweight. And we're going to try and hot swap this as best we can. I appreciate it, DJ. Thank you so much, man. Oh, God. Oh, the fucking smell. Where are my tweezers? Yeah, get all that solder reliquefied. Go. And come in with just a little more flux on the sides to help that solder work its way all the way through those legs. All right. Come off the heat. There we go. You can see that solder solidifying on the legs, going all the way through. And there we go. You can see on those as well, solder came all the way up, nice and bonded. You love to see it. All right, there we go. Hey, Chris, good to see you, brother. Welcome, welcome. All right, gonna let that cool down for just a second. I'm not even gonna check those pins. I know they're perfect. All right, and we'll take a look at backside. And look at that. Absolutely beautiful ground holes. If you didn't watch it live, you'd never know it was changed. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right. Let's get it back in the chassis. All right, there we go. Well, you missed the fun one, Chris. This is just a roach-infested HDMI port. But we did have ourselves a little bit of fun. Go. Perfect. And get this one in there. All right. And let's give it some power. And let's give it some HDMI. And let's let you guys see it. All right, good enough. No worries, Chris. Always good to have you regardless, my friend. All right. It still turns on. We didn't break it that much. PlayStation logo. That's what I like to see right there. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. All right. Perfect. All right. I believe that's going to do it. I think the 2 is enough for tonight. And honestly, I'm still recovering from sleep deprivation from 4th of July. So I think I'm going to call it here. I'm going to put these back together, send pictures over to the customers, and I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to get some sleep. And yeah, I'm going to get some sleep. I got a lot to do tomorrow. I got a pickleball game. I got to go get cars detailed. I got to take care of these customers. Trick, you get the special premium pictures, all right? You bought an SSD controller from me. You get the good stuff. Everybody knows about that. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out so much. I really appreciate it. I love you all. I'll be back next week. Well, hopefully, I will have my DDR6 rig and we can finally do this RAM swap. So I'm hoping. Thank you guys again. I love you all dearly. Have yourselves a wonderful, safe weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Peace.